Hi there, I'm Eric Woodweaver Sjerven, Goathe of the Ridgar folk here in East Texas. If you can't tell from the sound of the cicada in the background, it is getting on to summertime here in East Texas. So I wanted to say thank you guys to everybody who's been watching the channel. I really appreciate it. We've got something like 217 subscribers this morning. Wow. Never in all the 9 worlds would I have thought that we would have this kind of a following on here. It's great, it's awesome. Love you guys, thank you, appreciate it. So, I'm going to put a call out. If you guys would, please hit subscribe on the channel, ding the notification bell so that you get all of the heads up that the videos are coming out. But really, if you can, share from the YouTube page if you're going to share it out. That way it registers the shares and everything. And hit like on the videos, okay? Most of my videos don't have a whole lot of likes, which either means you guys don't really enjoy them all that much, or like most YouTubers, you watch the video and then you bounce on to something else, because who really stops and slows down to hit like? Sorry, I'm going to try and block the wind a little bit with my shoulder. Most people don't stop and slow down to hit like on a video, which I get it. I didn't myself for a long time until I became a creator, and then I realized you actually need to do that in order for their videos to end up in front of your feed and to get shared out to other people. No likes means no shares. No views means no shares. So you can put tons of videos out there and nobody's going to see them. So if you like what I'm doing, if you think the information needs to be shared out, then please, by all means, hit the like button on each of the videos that you find interesting, and share them out from the YouTube page if you're going to share them out. That way it registers that share. It does give me all kinds of demographics, guys. It lets me know, how long you guys are watching, when you're dropping off. So it's really kind of cool. I love to do that kind of thing. But anyway, that's enough of the PSA. Let's move on to what I was going to go with for this particular video. And that is that, for those of you that have watched my grassroots heathenry video, you know that I do a side gig called East Texas Heathens. This is a separate little thing. It's not really a group per se. I simply go out to a local park and I hold what I call parkmoots. They're just meetups in the park where heathens can get together, talk about heathen related stuff, and share some camaraderie and some decent times. It's a grithstead, as it were. Declared ceasefire, a safe place that they can come and talk to each other and interact, and then go back out into the world. So it's important to have these kind of things in an area to build up community. And so I really enjoy it. Normally, we've got at least a dozen people there. A large portion of them come from my tribe, Ridgar, and then a number of them come from the local community who are just kind of in our folk community. They're not really tied to tribes or any of that. Some of them aren't even heathen, they're just heathen friendly. We've got one guy who we refer to as the cat on the wall. He likes to come and sit and talk because he finds us fascinating. And we love having him there because he asks great questions. And so Brandon, shout out to you, man. You're awesome. And Rain, if you're listening to this too, love you, sweetie. That's his daughter. She's awesome. So anyway, that aside, this past weekend we had a smaller group. Most of our key people were out of town for various and sundry reasons. It is the beginning of summer in East Texas. We're all blowing and going and doing all kinds of stuff. So, totally understandable, totally cool. But we had a couple of newbies there. One guy who had never been to one before, and one that's been coming to the meetup for a little while now. She's been there for a few months. And she's interested in heathenry, interested in learning more. And this other gentleman was just fresh into heathenry. He came from kind of a Christian background, and then he's been in heathenry now for about 7 months, give or take. So, 2 very newbies. I love to have these conversations. I know a lot of people get tired of having the same old newbie conversations with people over and over again. I enjoy them because I like to see the light in their eyes pick up when they have that realization. I like to be there for that moment when they go, yeah, I get it. This is like coming home. And that's what I've always said, heathens, when they find their way to heathenry, it feels like a homecoming. Because, like with me, myself, I always believed what I believe. I've always believed in the gods. I've always believed in my ancestors, the Vatir, the relationships, the whole 9 yards. The system that I had set up, I'd already had set up. And then I discovered heathenry and went, wow, there's actually a name for what I believe. Cool. So, I've been heathen ever since, but I was heathen before that too. I just didn't know what to call it. So, that's why I tell people I'm over a couple decades into it, but that's because that's when I started counting, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so I got a couple of people in the group that are more seasoned, and I got these newbies in the group. And so we sat down and had an AMA. we said, hey, you guys, let us know what you think. Ask us some questions. What do you guys think you need to know? And then, of course, it comes up what always comes up, and that is that I don't really know what to ask yet. And I find that to be true for a lot of Newbie Heathens. So, guys, here's a little shout out for Newbie Heathens. All right? This is going to be a dual thing, okay? It's a shout out for Newbie Heathens. Some of the advice that we came up with over at ETH, simple stuff, all right? One of them is read everything you can. I know people always joke about heathenry being the religion with homework. Guess what, guys? It kind of is. Now, here's the deal. I know not everybody is a reader, okay? That's why I do a YouTube channel, so you guys can listen to me, who does like to read, prattle on, which is something else he seems to enjoy doing. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to give you guys information that's a starting point, okay? Do not take what I say as hard as, this is the way it is, or this is the only way it is. No, do not do that. Take what I give you as a starting point, and then go out and do your own research, get your own experiences, and talk to everybody you can, all right? Buddy Allen, that was one of his things this past weekend to the newbies, is talk to everyone you can. I think he put it best when he said, if you come across one person who says, I know everything there is to know about heathenry, I'm the one you need to talk to. You don't need to talk to anybody else. Just come to me and I'll answer all your questions. Run away from that individual. Stay far away from them. Don't get anywhere near them. It's not worth it, okay? And he's right. He's absolutely right, because you want people that are going to foster your growth. You don't want people that are going to slow you down. You don't want people that are going to hold you back. So let all that go, all right? If a person tries to dominate you, if a person tries to say, I am the end-all, be-all, the only one, forget about them. Move on. Talk to everyone you can. Get a feel for them. Understand them. Figure out who thinks the way you do and figure out who doesn't. The ones that don't, figure out why they don't. You'll understand better, and you'll develop your own sense of understanding, your own sense of self better. And the more you do that, the stronger a heathen you'll be, okay? So read everything you can, talk to everybody you can, all right? Watch videos. Get online and watch videos. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there are all sorts of videos out there on the internet. I have seen a bunch of them. I looked at a bunch of them when I was coming on, starting my channel up, because I kind of wanted to see where in the space I fit, okay? Now, here's the deal. I call the internet Trollhem. The reason I call it Trollhem is because it's where trolls live. It's where they go. It's where they breed. It's the slop that they love to roll in and play in. So, do not fall victim to the trolls online. When you go on and you look at videos and stuff, don't pay too much attention to the comment section. I mean, check in. You can find the people that are legit, but you will find really quick there are trolls everywhere. There are trolls on YouTube comment sections. There are trolls on message boards, whatever it may be, all right? So, we're going to come back to that here in just a minute. Trollhem, remember that, all right? But back to the videos aspect. When you go out and watch videos, let me tell you, a lot of these videos are good. A lot of them have got some really good information. A lot of these videos are pretty out there, and I wouldn't put any stock in them personally. I'm not going to call anybody out, because you'll figure it out as you go along. But there are definitely some videos out there that I don't give any stock to. And then there are some videos out there that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. There are other videos that I go back to and I listen to and I watch regularly. And then, of course, I try to put stuff out there that hopefully will fit somewhere in the middle of things and be helpful to people. We'll see. So, watch videos if you can. Listen to audiobooks. I know Padraic Column's Children of Odin, for those that are really newbies, want some source material that you can listen to in the car. Children of Odin is a short form storytelling kind of form of the sagas. Well, not the sagas, it's the Eddas. It's the poetic Eddas is what it is mostly. The god stories that go along with that. Done in more of a storyteller format. Very approachable. Very fun to read and listen to. You can pretty much find that book at all Barnes & Nobles or major book outlets. It's very simple, and it's under 2 separate names. I think he also put it under a Myths of the Norsemen kind of thing, but Children of Odin was the original title that I know of. The big thing is it's Padraic Column. Colum, and it's a good read. It's a storytelling read. It is not going to be an in-depth examination of the lore. It's not going to be some, let's go and really get into the nitty-gritty of stuff, but it will introduce you to the God stories and to give you a launching off point. That is out there. If you're familiar with the app LibriVox, they handle a lot of things that are in the common domain as far as audiobooks and things like that goes. And I believe that is out there. If I'm not mistaken, I think a college also did a run on the Children of Odin as a podcast form and put it up on iTunes. You'll have to search it out and see Children of Odin by Padraic Colum, Colum. And I think you'll find it, and I think you'll find it very interesting, at least as a starting point. I highly recommend that you read everything you can. You read the Eddas, you read the sagas, you read different heathen authors, read new heathen authors, read contemporary authors to the heathen times. You'll figure all of that out as you go along. But don't put too much stock in any one area until you get to figuring some stuff out, because you're going to find that a lot of people go at things differently. You're going to find hardcore recons who are looking to reconstruct the ways of our ancestors in the ways that they did it. I think one of the best lines that I've talked to a good friend of mine who is a recon, and he feels like our ancestors at the time, when back in the time of creation, had the phone number for the gods on speed dial. Basically, they had it really toned in, dialed in, and really knew how to communicate with the gods and goddesses. So they go back and they try to recreate what they were doing in an attempt to recreate, reconstruct that exact process, and of course they have their own growth and their own development and things like that, but they're very, 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 very much set on doing things the way the ancestors did, at least for the reasons that the ancestors did it, getting the why right and things like that. Very much on scientific method, very much on archaeological digs, very much on evidence-based development. Okay, and then you got some that are on the other side of things that are very willy-nilly, that are going to be out there, crystal wavy, kind of what I call Wicca-true, or Brosa-true, or any of the other derogatory names that we tend to come up for individuals that are a little bit too far on the outside. That way, far left, far right, you get them both. I'm a middle of the road kind of guy. I don't really like dealing with extremes on either side. They all kind of get to me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So anyway, the gist is that you're going to find people on both extremes. You're going to talk to them, and you're going to watch the videos, and you're going to read their stuff, and you know what? You're going to learn from it, because you're going to look at something that's on this side and go, hey, I never really thought about it that way. Cool, let me see how that, that doesn't really hold up to the research side of things. But as far as our hearth cult practice goes, I think this fits. The biggest thing is to be honest with yourself as to the why. And then this is going to come from me, all right? And this is my little bit of advice, okay? Don't let people bully you with your heathenry, all right? You're going to find that online real heavy, particularly in certain circles online. Again, I call it Trollheim for a reason. If you can, stay off the internet. Stay off of the heathen Facebook pages. Stay off of the heathen Reddit groups. I don't care. Stay off them if you can. If you've got enough culture around you that you can develop without the internet, then do it. Because it's Trollheim and there's nothing but mud and trolls and blah. There's some great information, though. There absolutely is. If you know how to sift through it and you know how to go through these pages and look for the source materials, look for the individuals that know what they're talking about, even though they can be a bit prickish about it, you can learn a tremendous amount. One of the pages that I absolutely hate going on, because I cannot walk away from it without being angry, I get information every time I go there. I get good information every time I go there, and then I get angry at the trolls that think they're doing the right thing, but they're being asshats about it. And so I get frustrated and I leave, and then I don't go back for 6 months, and then when I do, I go, oh, hey, here's a great gem. Oh, I can't stand this behavior. I'm out of here. And it's all it is, behavior. It's online behavior. Because I've met some of these people in real life, and then I know people who have met other ones of them in real life, and apparently they're great folks. It's just kind of how it is on the internet. So I call it Trollheim for a reason. So don't let people bully you on your heathenry, all right? You're going to heathen how you heathen. yeah, I'm going to catch some flack for the hardcore recons because they're going to be like, look, there is a wrong way to do heathenry. I'm like, look, okay, I get it. When you deviate to a certain extent, if you're worshiping the Greek gods and goddesses, if you're not doing blow and you're not doing symbol, if you ignore the Vetir entirely and you spit on your ancestors' memory, then no, you're not heathen. That's not heathenry. The way I define heathenry is, do you worship the gods and goddesses? Regardless of whether or not we call them the same names, if identifiably we're worshiping the same set, or at least the same general family of the gods and goddesses, i.e. the Norse, Icelandic, Germanic, Anglo-Saxon, Central European, Northern European, the Aesir. Alright, if you're worshiping the Aesir, and the Vanir, or the Vanir, whatever, as long as you're worshiping within that view, the gods and goddesses, you venerate your ancestors, build a relationship with the Vetir of the land, and honor your folk, you fit the definition of heathen to me, alright? And honestly, what sets us apart from other faiths, folkways, in respect to that, is specifically which gods and goddesses we tie ourselves to, ones to whom we swear our allegiance, because that's the big thing. You're swearing your allegiance to the gods and goddesses, swearing your fealty to them. And so, again, I'm neither a universalist nor a folkist. I don't think I've got the grounds to be able to say whom the gods can hear the oath of. That's between them and the gods. So I don't worry about who can and can't be heathen. I worry about my tribe, and we're good. So that would be where I would go with that. As far as the don't let people bully you, worry about the people that matter the most to you. Worry about the friends and family who matter most to you. Worry about your in and guard. Listen to what they have to say. Listen to them. Let them teach you. If you're out trying to find new groups that fit you and will encourage you to grow. All right? Is it necessarily going to be where you end up in the long run? Maybe not, because you may do some growing and outgrow that group. But at least you're growing. At least you're doing something. I got a lot of crap for referencing Eric Wodening's We Are Our Deeds, which I still maintain is an excellent exploration of the linguistic roots of heathen ethics in arch-heathen times. And so I'm going to continue to quote it because, I don't care. They were European heathens and they don't see things the way I do, so that's all right. Okay, we disagree. We're cool. No big deal. But in essence, the thing that I like about this is that action was seen as better than inaction. It's better to do something and be wrong than it is to do nothing and negligently just let things happen. So, in that, I would say that it's better to get out there and try. It's better to get out there and do. And as long as you're not doing something that's offensive to the gods, don't go out and worship baleful whites and things like that. I would recommend against that personally. I wouldn't go out and blow up to Fenris or to Jormungand or anything like that. That, because they are in opposition to the gods and goddesses, I would highly recommend not going that route, okay? That's probably going to offend the gods, If you're out doing, half-ass sacrifices where what a lot of them online will derogatorily call snacrifices. You're going to find that that's a derogatory term that pops up in hardcore recon communities, the snacrifice. And what that is that's specifically a dig against the idea that you could go through and sacrifice Twinkies to Odin or ho-hos to Freya or things like that, Nobody wants a Little Debbie's snacrifice. It's, needs to be taken seriously. And so that's the thing. If you're taking it seriously, if you're doing it right, then to me, you're a heathen. I'm not going to get boiled down in which gods and goddesses you worship. I'm not going to get bogged down in do you do your symbol indoors or outdoors. I get I've heard the research, I've heard the arguments. I understand why a lot of people will be like, symbol has to be done indoors. Otherwise, it's not symbol. I know individuals personally, a good friend of mine, who cannot participate in any symbol that we hold outdoors because it's outdoors, and for something that is so much of the inner group, it needs to be in the inner group. So, anyway, I'll save that for a more in-depth look at symbol. But don't let them bully you, all right? Don't let people jump in and say, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. They're going to. They are absolutely going to. If you get on any of these Facebook groups and you ask them a question, be prepared, because somebody is going to jump on there and tell you, not in so many words, but effectively, that you're an idiot and that you should never have asked this question. Go back and read a book, you noob, before you come in here and try and play with the big dogs. It comes off that way. That's not really what they mean. They're frustrated because they're tired of answering the same intro questions every single day, because everybody does come on and ask the same questions over and over again. And then they had to go through and do the research themselves too. Everybody had to start somewhere, so if they had to start out and do the research themselves, they feel like you should have to go out and do the research yourself and be responsible for your own growth, which I agree on. However, there's multiple ways to research, and sometimes going to primary sources, i.e. asking individuals directly, is far better than reading. You can read all day long, but you're not going to find heathenry in a book. You're not going to find heathenry in some archaic tome. You will find heathenry how it was done, attestations of how it was done. But heathenry is found in the moment. So, that's my advice to you, new heathens. Don't let them bully you. Learn. Don't let them scare you off, alright? If you do toe into those big pages like that, just sit and watch. Sit and read. Sit and listen for a while. Learn how that group operates and then function within the societal construct that has grown up out of that. You'll be fine. Believe it or not, you really will be. You'll know when to jump in and when not to, what to say and what not to say by watching people who don't slow down and think it out, jump in with both feet first and make a fool of themselves. You'll be able to avoid that, and you'll be able to get all the information that you need. Talk to everybody you can, like Alan was saying. Get out there and talk to everybody. My tribe brother Jacob makes a good point about, not everything's found in a book, not everything's found in some archaeological tome. You have to. He's very much a hands-on, you got to do it kind of guy, But he also makes a point that, he's big on the tribal differences that exist between individuals and between different tribes. And this comes from multiple conversations with him, but he'll be one that's quick to point out that just because this is how they do it doesn't mean this is how another group did it, and that what we have that survives of the lore, even in archaeological digs and things like that, are still limited in scope. They're not reflective of everything across all of time, so you got some great points in all of that. There are archaeological evidence. There is archaeological evidence for some overarching commonalities across most of what we call the arch-heathen world, and it's great stuff. It is great stuff. There's good stuff there, good stuff to build on. It's such that we can know Sumbul and we can know Bloat, kind of how those were done, and then build from our own. I'm one of those that I believe you learn from the old, you learn from the ancestors, you learn from the past, and then you create something new. So that's where I am. I still call it heathenry. A lot of hardcore recons would not call what I do heathenry because I'm not a recon, but I don't care. They'll be all right, and I'll keep doing what I do with my tribe and all as well. So anyway, that's the big thing here. Advice to new heathens: talk to everybody you can, research everything that you can. Don't let people bully you online. Stand up or just walk away. You're cool, all right? You don't owe anybody and troll him anything. But I do urge you to stick it out and listen, because you will learn a great deal of stuff. There's a lot of really good information out there, even though I can't stand some of those pages. But it is what it is. So keep in mind that you're developing yourself and you're developing your own understanding. Learn the heathen worldview, all right? Don't get bogged down in necessarily the mechanics of ritual and things like that. If I was to say anything about understanding heathenry first, is study worldview and figure out how heathens looked at the world differently, how we look at the world differently than most of Western society, because that will be a game changer for you, I guarantee it. So anyway, good luck, keep studying, and here's a shout out to you guys. If you've got any questions, if there's anything that you want me to cover on my page that might be of assistance to you, that might be of help to you, let me know, all right? Shoot me a comment. You can email me at esjerven@gmail.com. That's ESJER, V as in Victor, EN @gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook at Word-Weaver Productions. You can follow me on Twitter at E_Sjerven. I don't do a whole lot on Twitter. I don't really get Twitter. But find me on Facebook, find me on email, find me here. Just go right down there, and you will see what you need to see as far as comments and all that stuff. Let me know, all right? Hit like on the videos if you like what I'm doing. Let me know through the feedback that you want me to keep doing these things, or if you want me to veer off in another direction, or if you just want me to shut my pie hole and keep going on, because I got plenty of stuff I could be doing right now. But I like you guys, so I like throwing these things out there. It's fun too. I like to do these. They're a lot of fun. I'm kind of worried about how well this one's going to turn out with all the sound in the background, and apparently we've got a summer storm system kind of starting to brew around here, which is always fun in Texas. So let me know. Give me feedback. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. I think it's over here. I think it is. I'm not sure. Should be subscribe and then ding the bell. Ding the bell, because it actually pops things up in your feed. If you subscribe without dinging the bell, you're not going to get all of my videos in your feed. You need that notifications bell turned on to be able to get anything. All right? So good luck. Happy learning. Hail and have a good day.